So last week we watched the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah, I'm still a little sick to my stomach.
Yeah. Well, you hadn't seen Evil. You've seen Evil Dead, the original.
Yep.
But you hadn't seen Evil Dead 2.
No.
So-
I have standards.
Well, screw your standards. Let's watch it.
Do I have a choice?
No.
Okay, well then let's watch it.
Groovy.
You look about 6 pounds lighter when it comes to hair,
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost...
which makes sense. You have
From what I had, it's pretty much 80% gone.
without disclosing, who you are and where you work and all those things. You have an important date coming up. You work at a place that is dependent. You work for a nonprofit,
Yeah.
and so you are dependent on the generosity of others. And there is arguably your biggest fundraiser event of the year coming up.
True.
In which it behooves you to have people not think that you're
A bum.
on meth. And you typically at this thing have to typically you get up and say a few words.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that you've cleaned up. What I will say to you.
I didn't clean up for that. I was just sick of the long hair and long beard.
What I will say genuinely to you, you look... I want to pull away from your mic a little bit so I can see your full face. I mean, you've still got gray.
That's not going anywhere.
You look almost 10 years younger.
Yeah. Just imagine if I went clean shaven.
Like the shorter beard. I don't like you clean shaven. No, you don't have, here's the thing. This is okay. Before we jump in, now that I've complimented you, I will insult you.
Okay.
You look great with a beard because unlike the star of the film that we're watching today, you don't have a bad chin. You don't have a great chin. Like the beard does a lot for you.
It's a strong chin, but I got like it doesn't work. Yeah, the beard.
Your face looks better with a beard.
Better.
Yeah, your face looks better with a beard. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
We are the B team.
Yeah, which I was listening to and listening back to an episode, the Bubba Hotep episode. Listened to like the first 5 minutes of it earlier today, and it dawned on me that you say that at the beginning of every episode with the two of us in it, and most people like if it's your first time listening and you hear Carl say we're the B team, you probably think to yourself, well, what is the name of the podcast? Is this the B team? Is it the Can you explain what you mean by the B team?
We're team B. We're the A team. Is the original? Is you and Pete?
Pete and I started this podcast.
You're the A force. You're the A team. You're the originals. I came in second fiddle.
Yeah, you're number 2.
I'm number 2.
Yeah,
number AB.
Yeah,
B team.
So, anyways, that's what that means. This is which is funny because you and I do more episodes than like the B team does more episodes of the podcast than the A team does these days. Yeah.
Pete's got to get it.
Go ahead. I'll say get your shit together.
There
dude.
you go. She get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Normally, you're like you can't say that.
Oh, you can say shit. You just can't say. You can't say. You can even say Pete needs to get his effing shit together. You just can't. You just can't say the full version of that effing word.
Oh, it's the F word you don't like.
Yeah, you can say frig. Get your friggin' shit together.
That's too confusing.
It's one word. It's one word. You can't. Well, there's two. I wouldn't say. Probably don't say the C word.
What about the D word?
Dick?
What about
Pete's a dick.
Pete
can be a dick.
What about the P word?
Pete's not a dick. The P word. I don't know.
See, that seems sexist to me.
Why? It's a very derogatory term.
You could. So is dick.
You can say the V word.
What? But
like
penis is the more appropriate term than dick.
It would confuse me if you said Pete is a vagina, but I don't like. There's no like that. I think that sneaks past the censor. Anyways, we're here watching Evil Dead 2. Yeah, we do this thing.
Watched.
It's
done. The deed is done.
I want to. Yeah, maybe it'll come through. Maybe it won't. I'm on the tail end of a. I got I'm a little nasally sounding. I might cough. Got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. On the tail end of a thing. I was going to cancel because I was like, because I was like, I'm on the tail end of something. And on the off chance that our house is still germy, I don't want to be that guy. And then I realized, Carl's come over so many times to record the podcast.
As long as you're not coughing directly on me.
And I'm pretty sure at least once I've gotten sick from Carl. So what? I thought to myself, nah, screw it. Come on over. We do a series. We do a series called First Time Watch, where...
Is that the official name we came up with?
Yeah, it's the title that's on all the episodes.
All right.
Called First Time Watch, where every other week, either Carl or myself, we alternate back and forth. We make each other watch a film that we have seen, but the other person has not. And it was your turn. And because last week... we recorded on Halloween Day, I made you watch the 2013 remake of The Evil Dead.
Yeah. But prior to that, we watched Bubba Hotep, starring Bruce Campbell.
So you already had a little bit, so it was kind of a perfect storm, because you already had a little bit of like Bruce Campbell, like you had the
started
bug.
down that road.
And then I showed you Evil Dead.
And I was just like, oh shit, you haven't seen Evil Dead 2? Well, I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going to stick on this Bruce Campbell train for a while now.
Well, there's only one more film after this.
But no, Bruce Campbell's made lots of films.
No, I know, but here, what I will say, Carl, and that's not because I'm sick, that's so that you pay attention. In the interest of not tanking our listens, our downloads, there is one more film in the, and then give me something that maybe, is a little more widespread popular.
We'll see.
Because here's the thing. Genuinely, because, I do have to worry a little bit about keeping the podcast relevant. There are some super niche, like indie films that I want to show you. But if you're smack dab in the middle of showing me indie films, I feel like I can't. I start veering towards.
You've got to go for those
like AAA film things.
High big budget.
Yeah. So
just balance it out.
Yeah. So give me some breathing room, maybe.
We'll see
from time to time.
I might do what I think I got one more in the barrel after
Army
Dead,
of Darkness.
After the Evil Dead franchise that's Bruce Campbell related that I really enjoy. God. It'll be the last one.
Is it Spider-Man?
I feel like if Bubba Hotep's like the warm up to the Evil Dead, watching Evil Dead, which I mean technically Evil Dead came first, so Evil Dead's the warm up. But
we discovered last week there was a comic book crossover.
Yeah.
So technically it's all just one franchise.
Yeah. It's all one world. Anyway, I feel like this film is kind of not a sequel, but let's say a spin-off to those franchises. We'll say to all of his
is there a way
horror films.
Is there a way that pull your mic down just a little? That's not what I was going to ask. Is there a way that the maitre d' outside of Mary Jane Watson's musical. Could that be Ash Williams?
Oh, he does have a hand.
He does have a hand.
Both hands, rather.
Alternate multiverse Ash Williams?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Multiverse Ash Williams.
Yeah.
Because and then the Bruce Campbell that we get in Multiverse of Madness does have a sentient hand issue.
Moment. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sir. Initial impressions. Yeah. You go first.
I go first. It's my movie. All right. This is a B movie.
You've been starting your reviews off that way a lot lately.
It's made in the late 80s. It's obvious. But
early 80s.
It's
80
87.
Oh, 87. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
the first one is 81.
Ooh. Okay, so that changes a lot about what I was going to say.
6 years in between them.
That changes a lot about what I was going to say. All right, go ahead.
So, I think, we said this. We talked about this a little bit last week when we reviewed the remake. That this is kind of the one people go to in terms of the cult classic, and it's the one that,
like, in general,
I think so. Like, the first one is still kind of part of that series. Like, you buy the box set of Evil Dead, it usually comes with Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. But I think most people are like that enjoy this franchise. Like, this one is the peak in terms of what's best.
Right.
Army of Darkness is fun, but like this is kind of like the cream of the crop for the Evil Dead Ash Williams story.
Okay. So,
and I would agree with that. And I enjoy this film, as corny and B movie in the late 80s that it is.
So let's take a look real quick here. I have a list of Rolling Stone's the 25 best cult movies of all time.
Oh.
In spot number 25 is Army of Darkness.
Okay.
24 is With Nail and I. I've never heard of it.
Just scroll up to where Evil Dead is.
23 is Princess Brides. 21 is The Room. I'm going to skip the ones I don't know and just kind of hit the big ones. 21 is The Room. 19 is Clerks.
Yeah. Okay.
18 is Blade Runner.
Okay.
17 is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
They're saying these are B movies?
They're cult classics.
Okay.
16 is Fight Club. So films that when they released didn't necessarily
is that a
do
film
well.
You've seen?
Fight Club? Yeah. Yeah, you showed it to me.
Yeah.
15 is The Blues Brothers.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah. 10 is Donnie Darko.
Ooh. Donnie Darko's messed up.
8 is the original Evil Dead, the first one.
Yeah.
7 is Pink Floyd The Wall. 5 is A Clockwork Orange. 4 is Pulp Fiction. 3 is This Is Spinal Tap. 2 is The Big Lebowski.
Oh, have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, that's going on the list.
And number 1...
Actually, I think it is on the list. Right.
Number 1...
Evil Dead 2?
Is not Evil Dead 2. Number 1 is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which, yeah, I would say that is arguably the king of cult classic films.
Right.
Okay, my turn. Initial impression. Okay, just rapid fire here.
Sure.
Poorly acted, like really poorly acted.
Sure.
I was while watching the film, I was trying to decide, okay, how much of the shittiness of these visual effects are intentionally shitty and how much of this is just because it's because it's the early 80s. But then you just brought to my attention this is actually the late 80s. This is almost the 90s. And so really subpar, mediocre visual effects.
Wow, low budget
effects. A real big gamble, this film. Like, really. For Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, a hell of a gamble. And I have to imagine, unless you were wasted on set the entire time and in the writing room and in just the whole time, there must be moments while making this where Bruce Campbell is flailing around in a room by himself,
fighting his own hand,
or even just nah, or standing on the edge, realizing a bridge is out and having 30 solid seconds of dramatic exclamation about it. There must be moments in making a film like this where you stop and you ask the other people who you're making this film with, we're sure about this? Is this...
Oh, they know what they're making.
Yeah, I know that they know what they're making.
They know this is a bit of satire and goofing around.
So, anyways, what was interesting was you and I watched the trailer. When the movie was over, I was like, I want to watch the original trailer. I want to see what was put in front of people to advertise this film.
How they were selling
because I had a suspicion, and my suspicion was not even a suspicion. I had a wonderment, and my wonderment ended up being true. And I think it's really interesting. Having seen the movie, when you watch the trailer, you can pick out some really goofy, silly stuff. But I think having not seen the movie, if you had not seen the movie, watching that trailer, they don't go out of their way to make it clear to you that this is satire.
Right.
The trailer definitely is horror leaning.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really bold because there's a lot of people who went and sat down in the theater expecting a proper follow-up to The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And at some point went, what the hell are we watching? And maybe loved it and maybe didn't, so on and so forth. But so anyways, poorly acted, really, really shitty effects. Interesting that they clearly made this with the intent of doing a third,
having a sequel.
That they were betting on success.
They're banking on something.
And I'm interested to unpack it. My first question.
Sure.
Is I'm really confused. We've talked about now in 2 reviews. I think we talked about it in the Bubba Hotep one. We definitely talked about it in the Evil Dead one. But how, a lot of the genesis of this film exists because of a rights dispute, basically. Sam Raimi wanted to redo the first one. Didn't want to make a sequel initially. Wanted to, I have more money now. I have a little more directing experience. I want to remake The Evil Dead.
I have a vision. The first one, I was
six years later,
truly able to capitalize on my vision.
Yeah, 6 years later, I want to remake The Evil Dead. Can't because he doesn't own the rights. The studio owns the rights. So he kind of has to do his own thing. I'm just confused about some of the details of this rights dispute when his own thing is then allowed to be Evil Dead 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he did a similar thing that was similar enough, but also unique enough that he wasn't going to get sued and had to call it something else and had to cast different people in it and give the same characters, same actor, titled as a sequel to the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it is the same name, just with a 2 at the end.
Yeah, and hits a lot of the same plot points.
Oh, yeah.
So a
lot of the major ones.
That confuses the shit out of me. I don't know what.
That's Hollywood legal mumbo jumbo. I don't fully understand.
Yeah,
and like, even like most people might not, like us, might not ever truly be able to get to the bottom line, because all we know is what Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have said in interviews.
And I mean, maybe now it's been long enough that there's something official out there.
Yeah, but there's a lot of backdoor conversations, I'm sure, involved there. But like, maybe the studio's like, we don't care if you use the same name, you just can't do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
could be. Do you want to take the reins here? It's your baby.
Yeah. So you've seen the first one.
I have.
Yeah. Let's start with like comparison. Like, compared to the first one, what are your thoughts? What are the notes that are similar that you liked? What are the changes that you liked? And then we'll hit the differences.
It's worth noting. I don't like the first one either.
Okay.
Or I shouldn't say either. I don't like the first one. I don't dislike it, but it's really aged and really low budget, right? Like it doesn't, aside from a straight up really cult classic, it does not hold up.
Right.
In any way.
Sure, I would, and that's probably a fair shake. Like, when you watch, especially a film like that, B movie, extremely low budget B movie, like, forget B movie, it's a C movie, right?
Yeah,
and C for college. Finals exam movie.
Yeah.
Like this. Well, because that's essentially what it is. It was like a school project almost, right? You got to go into it with the certain level of expectations, and those are pretty low because of what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think my thought is that, like, when you're looking at a movie from the early 80s, even with a high budget film, sometimes they feel really dated. And janky and campy and just not
pacing feels
pacing, and
it's not
just
what we were used to.
Yeah, it's sometimes they can be hard to watch. When you double down on that by also having it be a film that was made for almost no money, then it's really hard to have something that feels, like it ages well.
Yeah.
Changes. I mean, obviously the big changes are that that this one is satire, right? That it's goofy. That there are moments where there would be blood, would be a normal amount of blood. There is an asinine amount of blood. There's a humorous amount of blood.
There's a literal waterfall.
There's like a
geyser.
There's like a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Right. There's like a pressurized blast. I mean, here's the thing. I don't straight up dislike anything about this movie. And I think it's in almost every way more entertaining than the first one. Like, this movie, this is a bad movie. But it kind of falls in that realm where it's almost so bad that it becomes good again.
It becomes fun.
Yeah. And I can see, having watched this, I mean, I could see how it could go either way, but it also doesn't necessarily surprise me that, that this film would be the linchpin that explodes into
something more,
right? Like you make the Evil Dead, and if the follow-up to the Evil Dead had been a traditional 1980s horror sequel, right? Like another Nightmare on Elm Street or another Friday the 13th or another Halloween or another whatever, then I can see how, maybe they make 4 or 5 of them. But the sequels never really stand the test of time. Right? Like the first one becomes fondly remembered, and then there's all the other ones.
Right.
But because the second one is a sequel, because the sequel is a satire, because it's humorous, because it sort of takes Ash from being just the hero of a horror film, or the main victim of a horror film, and turns him into sort of an action hero who is, kind of the Evil Dead messiah. He's the prophesized guy.
Right.
The Book of the Dead actually references
Ash.
Yeah. Because of the time travel that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because he ends up with a chainsaw for they create some iconicism out of him.
Mm-hmm.
The chainsaw with the sawed-off shotgun, I can see why this film creates a legacy, right? Yeah. Why this film turns into another movie that turns into a 30-part or 30-episode series that turns into
comic books,
20 video games, right? Like maybe not 20 straight up.
Comic books, video games referenced across pulp culture for the last several decades.
So, yeah, I mean, that's sort of a lot of it in a nutshell, I think. I don't dislike this movie. I don't love it. I think in many ways, and as seems to be the same thing with a lot of cult classics, right? Same thing the first time I watched Princess Bride. First time I watched Princess Bride, I was like 25. And, and everyone was like, oh, The Princess Bride is the most amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, maybe if the first time I saw it, I was 8, I would agree. I don't think The Princess Bride is a bad film. I think it's overrated for me, because I didn't grow up with it, right? And I think that maybe there's a little bit of that going on here, where in some ways I've missed the boat on this film. Now, it's very possible, because there's more, because this is like we're kicking off a little thing here. It's very possible that I will like Army of Darkness a great deal, and that Army of Darkness will make me like Evil Dead 2 better. It's very possible that we'll finish Army of Darkness, and then in my own time, I'll go on to watch Ash versus Evil Dead, right? I don't know.
Right.
But I think in a vacuum, I missed the boat on this a little bit, but I also don't really have, aside from shitty acting and shitty effects, but that's sort of part of the charm of it.
Yeah.
So they're not really demerits. I don't have anything super negative to say.
I feel like you mentioned a cult, like missing the boat. It's a cult classic.
Yeah.
For something to be a cult classic, it's got to have like a fervent fan base. And a film like this doesn't get a fervent fan base unless people are watching it fair, like on more than once. Like, I don't think anybody. They're okay. There'll be some people that first time watch of a cult classic are head over heels, no matter what age, whether they missed the boat initially or not. But the idea of a cult classic is that people become fans of it after the boat has long left port.
Right.
Right. That's the whole concept of a cult. Cult classics don't make it big in theaters. They make it big down the line.
Yes, but I think still by people who watch them young.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah?
I don't think you have to watch something young to like Fight Club, right? Like you could watch that in your 30s and it might hit home depending on where you're at in your life, right? Yeah. But I think
whether you're looking to pick a fight,
a film, yeah. Most cult classic films are kind of like use the analogy of like a fine wine. They get better with age. They get better the more you kind of watch it, like on repeat viewings. It's like, oh, you start to pick up on, because usually they're not always, but a lot of times they're a little bit lower on the budget for these films. So you get kind of you grow an appreciation for like for Evil Dead too, like lower budget. Yeah, the special effects, the practical effects, not great for the time.
No,
but for the budget, hey man, that's pretty. Like they did a lot of stuff. There's a lot of practical effects and special effects that they were able to incorporate into this, and some of them didn't look as great, but that money had to get stretched out. They did a pretty good job. And you really when you start to parse it down, right? And I think a lot of times that's what people end up doing, and that's why they end up kind of falling in love with them and the goofiness of them. And I
think it was probably a fun film to make.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like, especially this one, like they didn't, the first one felt like they were taking it serious.
Yes.
This one
benefits from the fact that they weren't.
Nobody was taking, like they realized, okay, we're taking the piss on this one.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to shot for shot remake some of the scenes from the first one, which is one of the things I really like. Like one of the first scenes is them crossing that bridge. I love that bridge scene. I think it's a really beautiful kind of shot for the time, and they recreate it. And
yeah, it's a nice map painting shot.
And then they use that again later, but then they recreate some of the other scenes throughout the film that were from the first one. And then those moments are pretty more kind of, we're trying to recreate this in a serious way. But then as soon as the scene is over, it's like, okay, let's goof on it now. Let's goof on make the outcome of this scene different somehow.
Yeah. Which also, I mean, that leads me to a different thing that I was wondering throughout the film. Like, this is in the reading that we did about this film, and we read up on the original short film that was the inspiration for the original Evil Dead, and all of those have been Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. And the thing is that, like, the thing that became apparent is that Evil Dead as a whole was a real passion project for the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then my question watching this one just becomes like I'm curious about the nature of that passion, because I understand making a horror film, a horror short film, right?
Right.
A proof of concept, a pilot, be great to turn this, kind of like the movie Whiplash, right? Have you seen the movie Whiplash?
I'm not sure.
With it's the drumming movie with
no.
J.K. Simmons. Anyway, so it's based off a short film that also starred J.K. Simmons. Very similar thing. And then someone was like, "Yeah, this is great. We'll give you funding, make a movie." And so I can see that. And I'm just curious, like, what was the to do that, and then to go full in on this like horror parody, ridiculous, campy thing, not just in this film, but knowing, where that the sequel is a film about a guy with a chainsaw for a hand stuck in the 1300s fighting demons. Like, what was that? What was the passion? What was the thing that they were really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I had a passion,
like, how did they get from point A to point B?
Yeah, if I had an
idea, point A is
idea,
very serious and point B is very not.
If I had an idea for a Western, right? Yeah. And I was like, I was just so passionate about this idea. I think I've got this great concept. I get you on board with it. You and I shoot a short film. It's amazing. Like a real, legit, old-fashioned spaghetti Western kind of film. A short film. And then somehow by the grace of whatever God we pitch this to, we get funding and we make an actual movie for it. And then at some point, there's the possibility to convert it into like a sci-fi film, a sci-fi franchise, or a musical, or a comedy, or like whatever it is. I'm just like, I can picture myself being like, no, but that's not the vision. That's not what I'm like. That's not the film or the franchise that I am so damn passionate about. It's like, the only thing that it can really boil down to, because Ash's character in this is also pretty different than in the first one, right? So it's not the character of Ash that you're passionate about. It could be some guy named Ash. But it's so the only thing that's really consistent throughout is Book of the Dead, some demons, and a guy named Ash. And that's
duking it out in a old cabin in the middle of the woods.
In order for that passion to still be there and for it to continue on through, that's really the extent of what they could have been so damn passionate about.
Yeah, well, it might, like, just talking about it here and now,
yeah,
where you're bringing it up, the only thing I can think is Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi sitting in a room,
yeah,
talking about, oh man, we got money. All right, let's remake this thing. What do we? How do we want to do it exactly the same? And they're just kind of shooting the shit,
yeah,
talking about vision and planning. And probably at one point, one of them was just like, "It's a little crazy and far fetched, isn't it?" Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, it is kind of fun. You know what else would be fun? What if, like, instead of a little bit of blood, there's like a lot of blood? Oh, that'd be really cool. Like,
yeah,
they're just kind of like shooting the crap and kind of the vision is started in the same spot, but then it kind of grew and morphed into this, like, it's kind of like a butterfly, right? Like, it's still a caterpillar is still and a butterfly are technically the same creature that's just changed and evolved and grew.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I still
Evil
have
Dead
questions.
Evil Dead's a caterpillar, and when they got funding, they put a little more thought and time into it, and we got something a little more beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a shitload of questions, but
about how it got from point A to point B.
Yeah, just like what was the passion? Yeah. What, like,
well, one day when we interview Bruce Campbell, that'll be the question. How did you get from point A to point B? I
would love to ask that question. And what? Yeah, 100%. I think that would be That's exactly the question that I would ask, or one of the questions I would ask. Talk to me about this passion and how it morphed from passionate about a horror film to passionate about a goofy franchise, right? Like, yeah. Cool. Yeah. What else do you want to know?
Well, so that was that whole conversation sprung out of comparisons.
Yeah.
So let's drive down into this film. What were the things that let's start with didn't like. Let's end on a high note. Things you really didn't like about this.
Again, all of the things that I didn't like, and I wouldn't even say that they were necessarily things that I didn't like. All of the things that I could consider a demerit are hard to actually label as demerits because they're sort of a part of the charm, right? Like
you're talking about like the bad practical effects.
Bad acting, and I'm like, well, but with the subject matter and the fact that it's intended to be goofy and make you laugh, what would that look like with really good acting? I don't know that it necessarily benefits from great acting. Same with the effects, right? Like the problem is the effects are super janky in this, but the less janky they become, the more realistic they become. And I think almost unavoidably, the more frightening it becomes, right? And you sort of end up back in a place of horror, rather than satire.
Yeah.
Like it almost is becoming of this film that most of the effects look like shit. Also, by the way, sorry, on the topic of Evil Dead, you want to talk to me? Listen, you pissed and moaned through the last Evil Dead review. You were like, I don't know about the sustainability of some of these people's consciousness, and this person would have easily bled out, and this person, Bruce Campbell, chainsaws his own hand off.
Yeah.
And except for the moment when it's happening, and even then, barely so, he does not experience any pain. Like, he's fine. He duct tapes, by the way. You got all pissy about duct tape being used to hold gauze on. He holds gauze on his nub with duct tape, which, by the way, that gauze, not super thick. It's like a single layer of gauze he puts on there.
It wasn't even gauze. It looked like more like a curtain.
Yeah, whatever it is. Stays pristinely white the entire... he's not... Like,
it doesn't.
He has clotted
it gets
quick.
Dirty.
Well, yeah, it gets dirty, but it's not seeping blood through. He clots quick.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's not bleeding out. He's completely fine. And you want to talk about, like, here's the thing. Even I in the Evil Dead, the 2013 one, I was like, it's a little janky that he goes into the closet or into the woodshed and rigs up a defibrillator, right? With syringes and a car battery and what? That's a little, that's some Mark Rober bullshit. Like, you would have to really have an understanding of the mechanics of how all this works. So I don't know. That pales in comparison to rigging up a chainsaw.
Right.
To your surely infected nub of an arm that just holds on perfect. Like, that's, he put the clasp on. It's
clamps,
on there.
man.
But B, zero explanation for how he's, like, we see how he starts it.
Yeah.
which is also bullshit, because if that thing is in fact truly hooked in there, then anytime he extends his arm at all, he's re-pulling the ripcord and just damaging the
I think he kind of like would.
I did it, but also, how is he pulling the trigger on the chainsaw?
Yeah, that's
right?
the big
He's
one.
just
That's the big
activating.
one.
That's some Stephen Hawking bullshit. And so and it works for the film. However, I think the fact that all of this exists in this film, and the fact that Evil Dead, the 2013 one, although horror, I think was clearly a love letter,
paying homage for sure
to what Bruce Campbell had done, forgives a lot of that in the new one, right? The duct tape thing.
I'd say forgives a little.
The duct tape thing, the going into the shed and rigging together some device to save the day.
I would say it forgives a little bit, but not completely, because not as much as what it sounds like you want to give it. Because if you look at the subject matter, 2013 is taking itself very seriously. They want to scare you. They want it to be a horror. They want Evil Dead 2. It's not taking itself seriously.
Right.
It is kind of this horror comedy-ish kind of vibe. And as you said earlier, Ash is a hero archetype. He's not supposed to feel pain. He's not supposed to get knocked out easily. He's not, you know what I mean? Arguably, if your hero archetype has those things, it creates depth and makes a better hero. So I think more accurately, he is a stereotypical 80s hero that's what I'm
archetype.
Saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Just specifying.
They're not trying to create that kind of a film in 2013.
No.
Right? Which, okay, you're paying homage to? Great. Then use a meat cleaver. Use the meat cleaver to cut your arm off instead of an electric kitchen knife that's barely going to cut through your flesh.
Hey, man, have you tried? Have you tried?
Of course not.
Well,
I'm not a sadist.
Well, who knows?
That is definitely not. It might cut through flesh. I'll give it flesh, but it's definitely not cutting through bone. Like
not human bone. It would cut through chicken bone.
If she instead had picked up a meat cleaver instead of an electric kitchen knife, you still would have paid homage because that's what the evil hand of Ash was going after, right? That would have been way more poetic, and a meat cleaver will definitely cut through bone.
You'd have to really wail on it.
A sharp meat cleaver will. Butchers do it all the time.
But not human bone. They do it to like chicken and pork bones. Even a beef bone, like a beef thigh, you're not cutting that through that with a meat cleaver.
You need to stop. But it'd be more plausible.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying, right?
Anyways.
And while still paying homage.
Anyways, welcome back to the Butcher a Cow podcast.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, again, the things that I dislike, not really anything that I feel like is worth making a big fuss out of, right? Because anything that I do talk about, I'm gonna have to follow it up with. But I think it works. I think it works for what this is and what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
how it was.
So
made.
nothing. What I do like is that it's more entertaining than the first one. And
for sure.
It, as stupid as the whole. Yes, this look at this man on this 3,000-year-old page. He is the one that's prophesized to pay no attention to the fact that he's got a chainsaw for a hand. Yeah, pay no attention to that. Even though that's
pay no
stupid,
attention to the man in the corner.
Even though that's dumb, I still like that they're doing some world building, right? I go, oh, okay, cool. I'm excited to see how this will connect and intertwine and what they will make of this moving forward. I went into this film not really all that interested in it. I came out of it thinking there's a chance that I will watch the show. Mm-hmm. There's a chance, especially more modern, better effects.
Yeah.
That might interest me.
Yeah. And like small teaser.
Spoiler, you mean?
I know I'll say teaser, not spoiler. Army of Darkness and the TV show, they take that kind of hammy, goofy comedy aspect, and that's the part of the franchise they build on, right? The horror comedy, they kind of like really start leaning into that more heavily,
right? I'm interested. Yeah, I'm in.
Which only makes it more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm in.
And which is, I think, a lot of people's opinion, which is why it is considered such a popular cult classic.
Yeah.
And it's spawned all the interest it has in the zeitgeist of
Is there anything you don't
cinema.
like? I mean, this is your baby.
My baby.
But sometimes when you rewatch...
Yeah. I don't know. I would say, and I wonder if this happens with a lot of cult classic films,
right?
When you come back and watch them. But I remember the first and second time I watched. It feels like the first and second time I watched this, like the scene where he's fighting with his hand, and like I remember that being a lot more not interesting. What's the word?
Intense.
Intense and the way that Bruce Campbell acts in that scene. Impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
Much more impressive. Where this time when there's there's a few, like when he starts kind of bashing his head against the sink, and so I was like, oh, I feel like the first time I watched this, that seemed way more like, wow, this is impressive to make his hand feel like. I feel like the first time I watched it, I was convinced his hand was not part of his body and was fighting against him. Or this time watching it, I was just kind of like,
hey, he's committing.
But I'm not convinced the hand's fighting against him as much.
And I think
So I think I've got some, maybe that cult classic love has kind of rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. And I think, because you talked it up so much, even back when we did the Multiverse Madness movie. So I think it was a little too built up for me.
Yeah.
Right? Where I wasn't like, I went in going, oh, okay, it's
still my favorite scene.
Yeah.
It's still like the highlight of the film for me.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like I've built it up in my own head, rose-colored glasses, whatever you want to call it. And it's not as impressive as I remember it being.
It's not the master class in acting that it once was.
Still a lot of fun. Still did a great job, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You ready? Ready to rank it?
Let's rank it.
So you go first.
I go first. All right. So, Evil Dead 2. I'm going to base it off of the Evil Dead score from last week. If I'm giving Evil Dead a 7, I feel like overall I enjoy this film more.
Okay.
I kind of want to go to an 8, I think. I think a 0.5 isn't a big enough jump.
Evil Dead 2.
I think this is at least a full point more enjoyable.
So Carl's score for it is an 8.
Yeah, and I'm basing that mostly off of last week.
Yeah. I just format everything properly here. So an 8, which leaves your score for your films the same at a 7.5.
Yeah.
It bumps your overall score from a 6.7 up to a 6.8.
Yeah, the only way, like at this, we're getting to the point where we're watching.
I know it's got to be dramatic.
Unless the score is drastically different than the average, then the average won't move.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Anyway, what are you gonna give it?
I put a lot of thought into this while watching it. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
Which doesn't affect either of the scores. I don't think it scratches any of the itches that I need it to scratch, which would normally, but I also don't dislike it either. Like there's a big part of me that's pretty indifferent towards it, which would normally put me at that like 5 middle of the road mark. However, I still think it was ambitious, and I appreciate the fact that it sets up stuff to come, and I think that it, obviously has a cult following. I think it did what it set out to do. Just if I'm factoring in my own personal enjoyment of it, then that not it's not going to be like an 8 or a 9 or something like that for me. Even a 7 to me is like good movie. I don't think it's a good movie. But I don't think it's bad, and I'm slightly above indifferent. So a 6. I feel confident and comfortable and happy with a 6.
Fun.
Yeah. What'd you watch this week?
Oh, I watched some films.
Me too. I'm excited. I'm excited to. I got so many.
You got a lot?
Like 3.
I mean, I only got 2.
Oh, I got 3 and a TV show.
I got 2 and One Piece.
Yeah, okay.
Still watching One Piece.
So what? Tell me about the dinosaur movies you watched.
We didn't watch any dinosaur movies.
Oh, then I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
So family movie night. We have a book. We have a book at home.
Okay.
About a Disney film.
About a Disney film.
My boys have lately been like wanting us to read this Disney film book.
Okay.
And I thought, hey, let's watch the film.
Is it Star Wars?
No, it's The Lion King.
Oh, okay.
What a great film.
Yeah.
So
really good.
So good.
Really good.
I miss James Earl Jones.
It's better than I know you don't think so. It is better than 1.5. It's better than Lion King 1.5.
I'll give it that. Lion King 1.5 is
great.
So great.
It's great.
Like as far as Disney sequels,
Lion King
1.5
is miles better than number 2.
Yeah. I've never seen 2.
But the original is just perfect.
Yeah. Like pretty much every Disney sequel of that era is like direct to VHS garbage.
Yeah.
Trash. And Lion King 1.5 goes, let's take this in a different direction.
Well,
let's not make it a sequel. Let's not even make it a prequel. Let's make it a different perspective.
An in-betweenquel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it came out in 2004. So I think by that point they had a little bit more.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 90s sequel.
No. It came out years after.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my wife and I, we started watching. We were looking for a new show to watch last night.
Yeah.
And we found this, what we assumed was a show, and we're like, let's watch this.
Okay.
And we start watching it and get like an hour in, and I was like, how long is this? Just hit the down button on the remote control. Oh.
2.5 hours.
It's a movie. A feature-length film. And it was a mockumentary
Okay.
called Mascots.
Mascots.
It's freaking
This seems
hilarious.
Slightly
It's on
familiar
Netflix.
to me. Mascots.
Oh, man. So it's essentially about a bunch of these weird people who like mascotting for high school, college. Nobody's a professional mascot. They're all like, this is our side gig or a passion project thing. But they're all going to the Fluffies, which is like a big mascot tournament that at the time of this mockumentary is being hosted by the what was it, the vegan channel or something like that. It's weird. It's just, yeah, a lot of
Jane Lynch is
a lot
in
of recognizable faces.
Jennifer Coolidge, Harry Schreer.
Oh, it's fun. It's been a lot of fun. We're both looking forward to finishing it.
John Michael Higgins.
Yeah. So.
And Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's what I watched.
And then One Piece.
And One Piece.
Is it Cake Island?
Still on Whole Cake Island. Feels like we're coming to gonna wrap that up in the next 10 or 15 episodes, maybe. And then we're on to the next one.
Remember when you said you weren't a sadist?
It's fun though. I like it. It's good. It's entertaining.
Cool.
Yeah. I already asked you the question.
Looking
at me. You're looking at me like, what's he going to ask me?
What did I watch? I watched Alien Romulus, the newest Alien film.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
It's good. It was really good. Yeah, nice. I'm excited to show you the Alien films.
Go get into that series.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So watched Alien Romulus.
I've seen some of them, but
you've seen the first one.
I'm pretty sure I've seen some of the first one and or the second one.
But not since you were a kid.
Not since I was young, and I barely remember them. And I remember seeing part of one when I was like really young, and I had nightmares about it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen AVP, and I've seen Prometheus.
Prometheus, yeah.
And maybe.
So what I need to decide is which order I'm going to show them to you in.
Right.
That's the.
Yeah. But I would say for the purposes of doing, like, if you're going to show them all, then just assume I haven't seen any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then last night we watched Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, Brienne, we're like, oh, we should watch a movie. We made some popcorn. We're like, we should watch a movie. We were looking at Pixar, and there were three options that it kind of came down to. Neither of us had seen Elemental yet.
Right.
Neither of us have seen Inside Out 2 yet. I saw Finding Dory back in the theater when it came out, but Brienne hadn't seen it. And so I was like, well, those are my three picks. Does, like, whatever one of those interests you the most, you know? She's like, I just watch Finding Dory. Yeah, she was looking for... Brienne really likes watching, like, it's a comfort thing for her to watch movies that she's already seen. You know, it's just, you don't have to...
She got, like, stressed out about...
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's just like it's an easier watch, right? But and this was kind of like a compromise on that, right? Like same characters, same world, just what happens next, as opposed to like watching Elemental, and now you have to like learn who everyone is and understand the world and yeah. And so that was fun. It's cute. It's definitely not Finding Nemo, which is damn near perfect. But it's still serviceable. I watched what's it called? Onward. I watched. I said I would.
I listened to the podcast. I have notes.
I didn't. I'm not gonna budge a ton. Like it.
No?
It. Again, I think it's a good movie.
Right. Okay.
it just doesn't feel like Pixar to me. And I don't know what it is. Because, I watch, and there's a number of films. There are a number of newer Pixar films where I'm like, it doesn't feel like Pixar. And
I've heard you say that.
I watch, because you watch Toy Story.
Hang on. You've said that a bunch of times in relation to Pixar films. I've heard Pete say it a bunch of times in relation to Pixar films. You both said it related to this
I know what
film.
you're going to ask, and my answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
The question being, what's a Pixar film
so
then?
Do you want like an example, or you want a definition?
Like I guess more definitionally, right? Because in my mind, and the big reason I'm asking this question is because why are you shoehorning creatives into a corner and not giving them room to create something new and special? Because
that's not at all.
I mean, but Toy Story is about toys coming to life, right? But Brave is drastically different than that.
Brave doesn't feel like a Pixar film.
Inside Out is drastically different than that.
Yeah, Inside Out sort of straddles the line for me. Basically, what it comes down to is, I think a film stops feeling like a Pixar film. And this isn't always the case. There's some exceptions to this. But one of the things that can hurt a Pixar film is a abundance or a focus on humanoid bipeds, even if they're not humans. Even if they're not humans, right? And so obviously an exception to this, obviously, and that's fine. You're asking for me. What for me? Obviously, Incredibles is an exception to that.
Sure.
But you look at early Pixar, and it was a story about toys. Are there humans in it? Sure. They take it.
Their backseat.
Their backseat.
Yeah.
Bug's Life. Finding Nemo. Right? All of these are backseat, WALL-E. WALL-E is a story about an inanimate, not an inanimate object, but
a sentient robot.
Even Monsters, Inc., there's enough creatures in Monsters, even though Sully is kind of humanoid to an extent. Mike Wazowski clearly isn't humanoid. Right, he's an eyeball. He's an eyeball, right? And so it just, I don't know. Inside Out was on the fence because, Inside Out felt pretty Pixar-y. I haven't seen Elemental, but Elemental looks pretty Pixar-y to me. Ratatouille, I haven't seen, but there's a big, even though the main character is a rat, it's pretty, from my understanding, it's pretty human heavy.
Yeah.
Luca was another great example. Luca, amazing film. I really liked Luca. It doesn't feel super Pixar to me.
I feel so my biggest issue with that is you're not just shoehorning kind of Pixar in your own mind into what is and what isn't Pixar, and therefore kind of hindering your own enjoyment to a Pixar film potentially. But I guess the second part is by doing that, you're shoehorning yourself into not enjoying a Pixar film potentially because of this kind of definition of what is and what isn't. So for me, what makes a great Pixar film, and this, if you kind of look at Pixar films, this kind of runs the gambit. This is kind of the through line for all Pixar films is your main character or characters are going through a very serious kind of coming of age or a character arc.
Yep.
It's very heartwarming, family friendly.
Yep.
And there's some sort of fantastical journey that has to happen. And those are the three keys that make a great Pixar
So
film.
what is the fantastical journey in something like Ratatouille?
It's a talking rat. Well, I guess the rat doesn't talk, but the rat interacts with the chef.
So but do
There's
you know
not much.
okay.
There's not much of a journey in that, but there is like.
So but here's the thing, right? Like for me with Pixar, it's less about me wanting to shoehorn them into a box and more me wanting to preserve what was unique and great about Pixar rather than seeing films where it feels like they're assimilating to just broader, more generic animation.
But that's still shoehorning.
Because
you're keeping them in a box by saying that you're not letting them grow and explore.
Do something. Yeah, but growing and exploring implies doing more interesting, unique things versus doing things that just feel like what all the other studios are doing. Because you just described to me what is quintessential Pixar to you, and I'm like, oh, cool. So like Despicable Me from Illumination?
Sure.
Well, that's not Pixar.
I know, but
right?
like,
and so that's
Despicable Me. Like,
so what you've done is described a good animation film, not necessarily the magic of Pixar.
That may be true.
Yeah,
but that's what Pixar is. They're an animation studio.
Sure, but an animation studio that was always very unique and different, and is now not so much anymore. But here's the thing:
they're unique and different because they're not focusing on human stories.
But for the most part, right? Like,
or they're focusing on human stories, but not with humans.
For the most part, I think you will find that it is, and maybe I'm about to. Yeah, I mean, people love Onward.
You want like a lot of the Pixar shorts involve humanoids as well, like or humans as well. Like
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It just doesn't feel.
That definition just feels like you are putting Pixar in a box, and by doing so, you are hindering your own experience.
Which could be the case.
Yeah.
Right? It's no different than you wanting a very specific thing from Star Wars, and as a result, not liking 90% of new Star Wars.
True. Sure.
Right? It's fair. We're all going to do that, right? I'm super excited
that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I'm super excited we were talking about this earlier before we started recording. I'm super excited for the Ironheart show coming from the MCU, and you're like, no, I don't know. It just looks like, whatever to me.
Looks like Iron Man.
Could be a great show. I really liked Echo.
Yeah.
You hated Echo.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just one of those things. Anyways,
I have a lot of notes
you want
to. This was more about. I listened to the podcast.
Okay. Well, let me finish telling you what I watched.
Yeah. I don't know how long we want to get into this.
So I watched Onward, and then I also watched. It was my mom came over. It was her turn to pick a movie.
Yep.
She had us watch. What year did it come out? 1981.
Ooh.
I watched a 1981 film called On Golden Pond.
On Golden Pond. I've never heard of this.
Katharine Hepburn.
Okay.
Jane Fonda.
Okay. I've heard of those names.
Henry Fonda.
Okay.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, really good movie.
Sure.
It was a really good movie.
Okay.
Like, so much so that I almost, like, watching it almost put me in a place where I was like, I could add this to the list now.
Right.
For Carl. Right?
Okay.
I could
sure
make him watch it.
Put it on there.
All right, I will. Okay, so
I definitely haven't seen it.
Tell me why I'm wrong about Onward.
Okay. I'm curious. Like, if you were to let's start with score. What would you rate it on a third watch? Because this was your third watch.
Yeah. As a film or as a Pixar film?
As Onward.
It's
Onward.
Just as a film?
Yeah. Well, however you rated it the first time.
I don't remember. See, and
that's
you
why I'm
recently,
asking. I got it written down here. I'm curious to see if in your kind of viewing experience, if it went up or down, or how maybe the way you scored films, if it's gone up and down.
I still think, although I don't remember the full synopsis, I still think and probably feel firmly that the changes that Pete and I proposed are better. Is a better story.
I'm dead against
that's
everything
fine.
You wanted to change,
and that's fine. I'd give it a 4.5. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would I give it before?
6.9.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5. Maybe a 5. Maybe I could go up
Okay.
to indifferent.
Okay. I feel like there's a bit of a. This is just hearing the way you're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Sounds very similar to the way you talked about it on the episode.
Okay, cool.
So I feel like the
That's
way
good.
you've rated films has changed, maybe more than your experience of the film itself.
Sure, which is possible. Watching more films, reviewing more films, watching more films with a critical eye, right? Yeah. I've probably evolved as a film ranker. Sure.
Yeah, cool.
As a pundit.
Okay. So do you want me to just
rifle off real quick.
Okay. So kind of from beginning to episode, kind of through the notes.
Yeah.
But Pete likes a good time, apparently. He opened the show with liking a good time and something.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's why I can't take Pete to Vegas.
Yeah, this is important.
He'll get carried away.
This one's important. So you said early in the episode that you haven't seen Brave. Have you still not seen Brave? Oh,
no, I haven't seen Brave.
Put that on my list. That's we got to watch Brave. Brave is good.
All right.
So you alluded to in your first impressions that you had watched it earlier.
Yeah.
During that recording, and then you wanted a fresh. You felt like during the first watch, you thought it was okay, it was good. So I feel like this is. I'm gonna have to. I'll apologize a little bit. I think last week I was a little harsh
on me,
on you.
Okay,
because for some reason in my mind I remember being harsher on you because you were harsher on it.
Okay,
but you weren't.
I'm not that hard on it.
No, because you thought it was good. You thought it could have been better. You thought it was like silver tier, Pixar.
Yeah. As opposed to gold or platinum.
Yeah. The big thing that after your first watch that you mentioned was everyone else really liked it. You were wondering if you had missed something.
Right.
So you had watched it within 24 hours of recording the second one.
Yeah.
And after that second watch, your mind was the same.
Yeah.
And apparently your mind is still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big things that you guys really dove into was the importance of the manager and mom storyline.
Yeah.
And the stepfather storyline.
Yeah.
And how they worked with the dad.
Yeah.
Throughout the story. And I feel like you guys missed the plot.
Okay.
Pete hits on it at one point. But the plot is never about the kids and the stepdad and the kids and their dad.
Right.
The plot is about two brothers going on an adventure with the end goal of meeting their dad and re-meeting their dad.
Yeah.
But ultimately, little brother coming to the realization that big brother is the role model he's always wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the story. The story isn't about the dad is the MacGuffin. He's not the goal.
Okay.
For the story. And I feel like all the changes that you're proposing are detriments to the story that they're trying to tell. Right.
Sure.
I think there's some lenience in the story about the mom and the restaurant manager. What creature
like
was it?
Like a minotaur type. Yeah.
She's got bat wings and a scorpion tail and a lion
she's a
head.
Balrog.
She's a something.
Yeah.
She's fierce.
Yeah.
There's a little bit like that story isn't as important, but the kind of the side story to this whole film is magic is gone. And as these two go on their event, like magic hasn't been used in decades. The young boy, half casting his dad back to life is the first time magic's been used in decades.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the tap has been turned on, right? Pixies start flying again because they forgot they knew how to fly even though they have wings.
Yeah.
The restaurant manager used to give out quests and help heroes on their quests. And now she's on her own quest to kind of get back to that space. And
I just figured it out. What I like about classic Pixar that I don't like about Onward.
What's that?
Toy Story, Bug's Life, Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc. are all films about aspects of our world that we're unaware of. Right? Toy Story takes place in our world.
Right.
Just when you leave the room.
Right.
Finding Nemo takes place in our world. It's just in the sea.
It's not something we're present.
We're not privy to.
Yeah.
Monsters, Inc. takes place sort of our world adjacent, but is still it explains things about our world, about the monster under the bed.
Right.
Bug's Life, again, same thing. It's just our world, but on a micro kind of view, right? Micro view. And yeah, so I think that's even Inside Out, right? Inside Out is like, this is what's going on inside your head.
Okay.
Soul was like, this is how this aspect of the universe works.
Right. Those are that would be a clearer and more defined definition of what a Pixar film is.
It's one of the reasons why I think I'm hard on Cars, because I'm like, well, as you know, I don't know.
Are you familiar with the theory about
the Pixar theory? Yes, very much so.
Like the Cars is like after all humans are gone. Yeah.
WALL-E, I'm okay with, because WALL-E, although I think WALL-E's a little like just a tad overrated. WALL-E's great because it's our world a couple hundred years from now.
Sure.
But Onward is just fictitious setting.
It's a completely different world.
It's a different world. It's a different, and so I don't have any like. There's especially Toy Story, and it's what makes Toy Story perfect, is that there's a warm fuzzy magic to it that is akin to like watching the Tim Allen Santa Claus movie, right? Where it is something fantastical and magical being brought into your world that could be like, you know, like you tell me and this is what's so great about Toy Story. Give me obviously I don't think this, you know, get out of the comments, but give me the empirical truth or proof, the way that you know for a fact that when you and your kids leave your children's bedroom, that those toys don't come to life. You can't, right? And so that was what was so wonderful about that movie, is that not only was it fun, was it heartfelt, but it created believers out of millions of children, right? Millions of children.
Yeah.
Would leave their bed, would set
new
their,
way to play with toys.
Set their toys up very specifically before they left for school, so that when they came home, they could check, did they move?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense. Makes me wonder if you'll, and I think if that's your definition, I feel like, and WALL-E fits into that definition.
Yeah. I
would
might
say
like Brave.
Brave fits into that.
I still
definition.
don't love an abundance of humans in my Pixar, but like I said, Incredibles to me is an exception to that. So maybe Brave will be too.
Yeah. Well, by your new definition, it doesn't matter if there's humans or not.
No, I mean that's my main. There's other components.
Yeah.
That's not like my
Yeah.
Cool.
That was the primary thing, and I think you guys missed the boat on the plot. Pete touched on it, but he got caught up in other things.
In my nonsense.
Well, in his own too. Like he was on that boat too. I think you guys just missed the boat on what it is. On top of that, personally for me, I just love the idea of this fantastical high fantasy world.
Right.
That all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but over the decades, loses touch with magic completely.
Sure. And me too.
To the point where like pixies the creatures still exist, but pixies don't fly.
They don't fly.
Manticore. She's a manticore.
Manticore.
Manticores don't hand out quests and aren't scary anymore, but they run children's
all right, we
Chuck E. Cheese's.
We got to wrap this up.
And then having that spark of magic re-enter the world and just kind of everything gets greener.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed below. Check out our Patreon for as little as less than a cup of coffee.
Less than a Coke.
Less than a Coke. Yep. Less than a chocolate bar.
Less than a kilo of Coke.
Oh my! Well, yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know anything about the pricing of cocaine. I wouldn't even wager to guess.
Cheaper than a kilo.
I would guess
a lot.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Usually a kilo is like one of those bricks in the shows, right? Like
support us on Patreon. Support us on Patreon. It's a great way to support us. Allow us to continue and improve the podcast, buying new gear, buying
keeping the lights
stuff
on.
Like keep the lights on. And we have merch.
Yeah.
Fun things that you can buy, which is another great way to support the show. And until next week, when we watch a movie that I have not decided yet.
Ooh, we'll see you in the unknown.